hypnotism?
Well, it might be. As I was just explaining to your wife, there are certain types of hysterical subjects.
George, dear. It's getting terribly late. You must run home. And to get up so early in the morning.
There you see, the moment I start talking about something that really interests me, my wife interrupts me.
You know I'm right, darling. It's past 11.
Well, I'll do some reading up on the matter just for the fun of it.
Well, you must have a drink before you go.
No, thank you. Violet's quite right. I've got a patient being operated on in Canterbury early in the morning. I have to get up a bomb.
It was, really. I shall never forget it. It was sweet of you, too.
Good night, Mrs. Condamine. Thank you so very much.
You're sure about that drink?
Quite sure, thanks.
Well, we'll let you know if we find any poltergeist whirling about.
I should never forgive you if you didn't.
Come along, darling.
Well, dear,
Well,
you say the evening had been profitable.
yes, I suppose so.
Well, there were certainly some very funny moments.
Yes, there certainly were.
What's the matter?
Matter?
You seem old somehow. Are you all feeling all right?
Yes, perfectly. I think I'll have a drink. Would you like one?
No, thank you.
It's rather chilly in this room.
Come by the fire.
I don't think I'll make any notes tonight. I'll start fresh in the morning. Oh my God!
Charles! That was very clumsy, Charles, dear.
Elvira, that is true. It was.
Of course it was. Why are you talking like that?
Are you a ghost?
Suppose I must be. It's all very confusing. What do you keep looking over there for? Look at me.
Don't you see?
See what?
Elvira.
Elvira?
Yes. Elvira, darling, this is Ruth. Ruth, this is Elvira.
Come and sit down, darling.
Do you mean to say you can't see her?
Charles, just come and sit down. Don't worry about the floor. You can clean it up in the morning. I'll make you a drink.
But you must be able to see her. She's standing right there. Look, there.
Charles, are you mad? What's happened to you?
You can't see her?
If this is a joke, it's gone far enough.
What am I to do? What the hell am I to do?
You might at least be a little bit more pleased to see me. After all, you conjured me up.
I didn't do any such thing.
Nonsense. Of course you did. That awful child with the cold came and told me he wanted to see me urgently.
It's all a mistake. It's a horrible mistake.
Why are you talking like that? I told you already that the joke's gone far enough.
I've gone mad. That's what it is. I've just gone raving mad.
Drink some brandy.
This is appalling.
Relax.
How am I going to relax? I'm never going to be able to relax again as long as I live.
Well, drink some brandy.
Now are you satisfied?
Now sit down.
Why are you so anxious for me to sit down? What is that going to do?
Well, you can't relax standing up.
African natives can. They can stand on one leg for hours.
I don't happen to be an African native.
You don't happen to be a what?
An African native.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
It doesn't matter, Ruth. Really, it doesn't matter. We'll say no more about it. See? I've sat down.
Would you like some more brandy?
Yes, please.
Very unwise. You always had a big head.
I could drink you under the table.
Charles, there is no need to be aggressive. I'm doing all I can to help you.
I'm sorry.
Now, you'll drink this, and then we'll go to bed.
Get rid of her, Charles. Then we can talk in peace.
That's a thoroughly immoral suggestion. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Well, what is there more than that?
I wasn't talking to you.
Well, who were you talking to then?
Elvira, of course.
To hell with Elvira!
There now. She's getting cross.
I don't blame her.
You don't blame her for what?
Oh, God.
Charles, I sense you've got some sort of plan behind all of this. I picked it out during the seance.
Now, don't be silly. What plan could I have?
I don't know, something to do with your book, how the characters or one of them would react to a certain situation. Well, I refuse to use as a guinea pig unless I've been warned about it beforehand.
Elvira is here, Ruth. She's standing a few yards away from you.
Oh, yes, darling, I can see her perfectly. Under the piano with the zebra.
But Ruth!
I will not stay here and argue about this any longer. Hooray.
Shut up!
How dare you talk to me like that?
Listen, please
I
listen.
will not listen to this nonsense any longer. I'm going straight to bed. I shan't be asleep. I'm too upset. You can turn out the light.
What Ruth suggested. Relax.
Where did you come from?
Do you know, it's very peculiar, sort of forgotten.
Are you to be here indefinitely?
I don't know that either.
Oh, God.
Why, would you hate it so much if I was?
Well, you must admit it would be embarrassing.
I don't see why, really. After all, you conjured me up. And anyhow, I think it's horrid of you to be so disagreeable and unwelcoming.
Now, look here, Elvira.
I do. I think you're mean.
I don't mean to be unwelcoming, but try to see my point. I have been married to Ruth for 5 years. You've been dead for 7.
Not dead, passed over. It's considered vulgar to say dead where I come from.
Pass over then.
At any rate, now that I'm here, then at least make a pretense of being amiable about it.
Well, of course, I'm delighted to see you in one way.
I don't believe you love me anymore.
I shall always love the memory of you.
You mustn't think me unreasonable, but I am a little hurt. You called me back, and at great inconvenience I came. And you've been thoroughly churlish ever since I arrived.
You must believe me, Elvira. I most emphatically did not call you back. There's been some mistake.
Well, somebody did, and that child told me it was you. I was playing backgammon with a very sweet old Oriental gentleman. I think his name was Genghis Khan, and I had just thrown double sixes. Then the child paged me, and the next thing I knew I was in this room. Perhaps it was your subconscious.
Well, you must find out if you're to stay or not, and we can make arrangements accordingly.
I don't see how I can.
Well, try to think. Isn't there's someone you know or you can contact over there on the other side, or whatever you call it, who can advise you?
I can't think. It seems so far away, as if I dreamed it.
You must know somebody else besides Genghis Khan.
Oh, Charles.
What is it?
I want to cry, but I don't think I can.
What do you want to cry for?
I've seen you again. You being so irascible like you always used to be.
I don't mean to be irascible.
Darling, I don't mind. I never did, really.
Is it cold being a ghost?
No, I don't think so.
What happens if I touch you?
I don't think you can. Do you want to?
Oh, Elvira,
What is it?
I really do feel strange seeing you again.
That's better.
What's better?
Your voice is kinder.
Was I ever unkind to you when you were alive?
Often.
How could you? I'm sure that's an exaggeration.
Not at all. You were an absolute pig that time we went to Cornwall and stayed at that awful hotel. You hit me with a billiard cue.
Only very, very gently.
I loved you very much.
I loved you too. No, can't touch. Isn't that horrible?
Perhaps it's better if I'm to stay for any length of time.
I suppose I'll wake up eventually, but I feel strangely peaceful now.
That's right. Put your head back.
Like that,
Can you feel anything?
only a very little breeze through my hair.
Well, I guess that's better than nothing.
I suppose if I'm really out of my mind, they'll put me in an asylum.
Don't worry. Just relax.
Poor Ruth.
To hell with Ruth.
There may be trouble ahead, but
Good morning, darling.
Good morning, Charles.
It certainly is.
What certainly is what?
Good morning. A tremendously good morning. There isn't a cloud in the sky. Everything looks newly washed.
Edith